Goethe. Today we're going to explore the context behind some Roman quotes about love. Nunc scio quid sit amor. Now I know what love is. This is a quote from Virgil's 8th Eclogue. The Eclogues are pastoral poems, sort of like rhyme battles of shepherds. Now, if you just heard this quote out of context, you might think it's someone who has first fallen in love and is just struck by their first experience with true love. However, in the first part of the 8th Eclogue, a shepherd named Damon is telling the story of an unnamed young man who has lost his true love, Nusa, who is going to be married to a guy named Mopsus. And it narrates how when he was just a boy, he saw her, Nusa, when she was a little girl, and he fell in love with her immediately. But he can't be with her because she's going to marry another guy. So let's read that quote and then the couple lines after that quote. Nunc scio quid sit amor, duris in cautibus illum, aut tamaros aut rhodope, aut extremi garamantes, nec generis nostri puerum nec sanguinis erunt. Now I know what love is. Either Tamaris or Rhodope or the faraway Garamantes produced that boy, so Cupid the personification of love, who is neither of our kind or blood. He doesn't know that love is a good thing. He knows that it's cruelty. It's something that's been produced in these faraway lands. And in poetry, Roman authors often used faraway lands that they viewed as harsh and uncivilized to characterize people as cruel. The first two places are in Thrace or up above northern Greece, and the Garamantes are in the interior part of Africa. And if we go on just in English, the next part talks further about how cruel he is. Savage love taught a mother, talking about Medea here, to stain her hands with the blood of her sons. You are also cruel, mother. And I think here he's shifting to talk about Venus, Cupid's mother. Is the mother more cruel or the wicked son? That boy, Cupid, is wicked, and you are also cruel, mother. So, this quote, Nunc scio quid sit amor, which at first could seem the happy quote of a person who's just fallen in love, is really in context about the cruelty of love. Yeah, I know what love is now. It's just cruel. Because again, this is a story of a person who cannot be with the woman that he loves. Omnia Vincit Amor, et nos quedamus amori. Love conquers all, and let us yield to love. This also might seem the quote of a person who is happily in love and is giving themselves over to love. However, it is pulled from Virgil's 10th Eclogue. That is the story of Gallus, who also cannot be with his true love. Now, his true love is Lycoris, or Lucorus. She has spurned him. He's a soldier. He's stationed in Italy, and she's run off with some guy up across the Alps. This quote is from a part where he is relating to us how distressed he is and how he can't do anything to get her out of his mind. So I'll read the lines that come right before the quote, Omnia Vincit Amor et nos quedamus amori, and we will examine the context. Non illum nostri possunt mutare labores, nec si frigoribus mediis hibrumque vivamus, sit oniasque nives hiemis subiamus aquosae, nec si cum moriens alta liberaret in ulmo, aetiopum versemus oes subsidere cancri. Omnia vincit amor, et nos quedamus amori. Our struggles cannot change that God, again personification of love, is Cupid, neither if we should drink from the Hebrus, which is a river up in Thrace, in the midst of winter's freezes, and endure the Thracian snow of damp winter. Nor if, when the dying bark withers on the elm, we should drive the sheep of the Ethiopians under the sign of Cancer, which sign occurs in the summer, in July, so it's really hot. Love conquers all, and let us yield to love. He can't do anything to rid himself of his love for Lucorus. No matter what sort of hardships he would force himself to endure to try to drive this love out. He'd go freeze himself up in Thrace. He'd go swelter down in Ethiopia. It still wouldn't matter, and Cupid would not have pity on him. So we can learn from Eclogue 10 in this quote, he's just giving up. He's not going to try to stop loving her anymore. So we learn from this that love is immutable. The third quote, Peri quanto minus spest, tanto magis amo. Oh, I'm done for. The less hope there is, the more I love. This quote is from Terence's play The Eunuch. Busy play, there are a lot of characters, but this quote concerns the relationship between three. Thraso is the one who is speaking. He is the typical arrogant soldier from Roman comedy. He is in a relationship with Thais, a courtesan, a sex worker, but Paedria is also in love with Thais. So at the point where Thraso believes Thais is going to leave him for Paedria, he says this. And it doesn't make sense to him. The less hope he has, but the more he loves Thais. So here, we see love characterized as irrational. It just doesn't make any sense. By the way, at the end, everything sort of works out. They wind up in a throuple. Odit verus amor, nec patetur moras. True love hates delays and doesn't allow for them. This is from Seneca's tragedy, Hercules Purens, which is about the madness of Hercules that Juno inflicts him with, because she's not satisfied with his punishment after he fulfills the 12 labors. He goes mad and kills his family. However, this quote is not about him. At some point earlier in the play, the chorus is singing, and they're talking about how cruel fortune can be, and how the fates can punish people who don't deserve it. And so when they say this line, Odit verus amor, nec patetur moras, they're talking about Orpheus and Eurydice. And the point is, Orpheus was too impatient. When he was able to go down to the underworld and play his lyre and win back his dead love Eurydice, and the stipulation was he could not look back when he was leading her up out of the underworld, but his love was impatient. It wouldn't suffer the delay. So he had to look back at her. He couldn't wait till he got out of the underworld, and because of that he lost her. So this characterization of love in Seneca is one of impatience. Odi et amo. I love and I hate is from Catullus 85. That's an image of the beginning of a manuscript of Catullus, not poem 85, but we'll read the entirety of poem 85 here because it's very short. Odi et amo, quare et faciam portasse requiris nescio, sed fieri sentio, et excrucior. I love and I hate. Why do I do that, maybe you ask? I don't know. But I feel it happening and I'm tortured. Of course, the subject of his love and his hatred is Lesbia. His love is a very rocky love affair. Sometimes he thinks she's the most charming woman in the world. Other times she's flirting with guys in his face, or he even says she's cheating on him. So his love is full of contradictions. It's two feelings at once, basically. He has strong feelings towards her, but he both loves her and he hates her because he feels like she betrays him. So from this last instance, Odi et amo, it's what it appears. And the last three were more literal in what they appeared to be. But here we learn from Catullus that love is contradictory and it's torturous. And that picture of Lesbia I have there, I think looks shockingly like Chapel Roan. So we look at excerpts from Roman literature that have taught us that love is cruel and immutable in Virgil, it's irrational in Terence, it's impatient in Seneca, and it's contradictory and torturous in Catullus. So these are not particularly positive experiences of love. If you have a more positive quote of from the ancient Romans especially about love, please write it in the comments. Thank you. If you could please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. Also, we have another request. If you've bought our graded Latin reader, Erictho, Tartarorum Terror, first of all, thank you. Second of all, it would also really help us if you could leave a review on Amazon. Additionally, some of the quotes featured in today's video can be found on t-shirts in our Etsy store. And there's a sale going on until Saturday.